New homeowners are desperately trying to escape their homes while old homeowners are basically locked in place. I'm Housing Market Morty, and today we're going to be discussing a new Zillow article with some really crazy information in it in today's Housing Market Morty reporty. So let's dive right into this article, you guys. This is from Zillow again. Rate-locked homeowners nearly twice as likely to not consider selling. A recent Zillow survey found that homeowners who report buying their home at lower mortgage rates are less likely to sell their home and move. That's kind of a well duh, but let's look at more of this article. After hitting record lows at the end of 2020, mortgage rates have dramatically risen over the last couple of years, now hovering around 6 to 7% compared to the sub 3% rates seen in 2020 and 2021. For homeowners with low mortgage rates, these increases imply an additional financial cost to moving to a new home, even one at the same price point. This increased cost of transaction can often keep them locked in to their current home in what is known as rate lock, as homeowners wait for better rates, oftentimes resulting in a holdup of housing supply. Moving and selling would mean prepayment of their current mortgage and remortgaging a new home at significantly higher rates, resulting in stronger incentives to hold off on selling their home. Look at this. Homeowners who report mortgage rates below 5% are nearly twice as likely to want to hang on to their current home. Guys, look how mind-blowing this is. In fact, of homeowners who reported plans to sell, 47% of homeowners paying a mortgage above 5% already have their house listed for sale compared to 20% of those with rates below. So almost half of the people who are selling their homes have rates above 5%. On the flip side, homeowners already paying a lower interest rate may be reluctant to move and refinance at a higher rate, obviously. The split between those reporting a 4 to 4.99% and 5 to 5.99% rate reveals the greatest divide in homeowner intent to move. 41% of homeowners at 5 to 5.99% consider selling, while only 26% of those at 4 to 4.99% say the same. So the reason they're not moving is right here. Most of today's mortgage holders would need to remortgage their new home at a higher rate than their current one, obviously. According to our survey, around 90% of mortgage holders reported having a rate less than 6%. About 80% of mortgage holders reported having a rate less than 5%, and almost a third reported a rate less than 3%. So a third of people, it's going to take a miracle to get them to move, or a disaster, unfortunately, which is probably right around the corner. What does this mean? As mortgage rates hover just shy of 7% in the past month, most of today's mortgage holders would be forced to finance any new home at a higher rate than their current one in an incentive to hold on to their home rather than move soon. I feel like this article is just saying the same thing over and over again. A recent study by two finance professors, Julia Fonseca and Lulu, found that mortgage lock can happen even without increasing market rates. In general, moving is costly, even if the market rate is equal to or even slightly below the mortgage rate at purchase. So really, to make it affordable to move, rates actually have to be below where you're currently at, not even equal. This is a very interesting part to me. Of course, a homeowner's decision to sell and move is influenced by more than just mortgage rates. We found that less than half of all homeowners considering selling said that recent changes in mortgage rates were a reason they decided to move. Well, yeah, of course, you wouldn't move right now because of mortgage rates. I thought that was going to be more interesting than it was. Now look at this, guys. Look at what they found in this study. They found that a 1 percentage point increase in the difference between a homeowner's mortgage rate and the current market rate reduces moving rates by 9%. In today's market, where interest rates continue to rise, the difference between existing homeowners' rates and the market rate continues to grow, resulting in more locked-in households. So this article kind of reiterates itself a lot, but obviously people who have these low rates, they're locked in. They're not going to spend a fortune to move. There is no financial incentive for them to do so. Even if they kind of want a bigger house, it's just astronomically unaffordable. The rates are going to make their payments so much higher. They're just not going to do it. And actually, the people with low rates, they're doing fine. They have some equity in their home. Their rates are super low. Their payments are low. They're not struggling. But who is struggling is the people who just bought mid-2022 or later. They are trying to get out. Half of the homeowners who are selling right now are people who just purchased. That's crazy. That's sad, honestly. I think this is a cautionary tale. I think the thing to learn here is that if you're going to purchase a house, you need to purchase it well below your means, because all of these people, when they bought their house, they thought they'd be able to make the payments, but now a year later, they're already trying to get out. Don't be that guy. Am I saying not to buy a house right now? Certainly not. That totally depends on your goals, your time frames, all that. But what I'm saying is, if you do buy a house, you need to recognize that inflation is crazy. There are a lot of factors going on. There may be a recession. You just need to make sure that you can make that payment, because remember, a loan originator is going to tell you if you can, not if you should. Let's read the last bit of this article, you guys. Locked mortgages impact housing supply. Even though this locked mortgage effect may not be a direct experience for first-time homebuyers, current homeowners' reluctance to sell does have a direct impact on the housing supply. When homeowners with low mortgage rates are hesitant to sell their homes, it results in a shortage of housing options, resale supply, homeowner mobility, and places upward pressure on housing prices. So guys, that is one way that we could see more declining prices, is if a lot of these folks who are holding out and not selling, if they get pushed out of their home somehow. So that would be if they lose their jobs, if the recession hits really hard and they just can't make the payments. That's kind of going to be the only thing that forces them out, and that could add to inventory and reduce prices. But I'm not holding my breath for that. Zillow just had a new forecast on August 1st. They expect prices to keep rising for the rest of this year, and their previous forecasts expect prices to keep rising for 3 years. So right now, you're in one of three categories. You are on the sidelines because you simply don't have the money to buy. It's crazy unaffordable. Your income isn't where it needs to be, or your credit sucks, whatever the case. So if I were you guys, I would work on improving my credit, obviously making more money, saving money. That's all very important. Affordability is not going to change in the immediate future. I'm really hoping that prices will reduce, and in some areas they're already reducing. Obviously, it depends where you are. Look at your market. There may be homes that are right now undervalued. You got to be looking for those. So if you're in category 2 and you're really wanting to buy a home, you're in the position to buy a home, you've got good credit, you've got good income, what really matters is your goals. Are you going to want to live in that house long term, 15, 20 years? If so, whatever happens to the market in the next 3 to 5 years probably doesn't matter, but you do need to be able to ride that out. So that means if a recession comes, you still need to be able to make that payment. You need to very carefully shop and budget and think about how much you should be spending on housing. And affordability is really bad right now. You may have to downsize a little bit in order to keep that monthly somewhere comfortable for you, no matter what happens in the market. So if you want to live in a house for a long time, I would be less worried about an upcoming crash. If you're an investor looking to sell in 5, 6 years and make some money, you really need to look at more factors than just this video, certainly. Now, if you are buying right now, just make sure that you spend plenty of time on the house hunting portion. You want to find a home that is affordable, that is undervalued. You want to get the best deal you can get, and you really want to be able to hold on to that property for 10 or 15 years. If you do that, you're going to be okay. But in the meantime, are you going to be able to pay that mortgage? That's why you need to look at the financials. If you rented that house, how much money would be coming in from it? What would your cash flow be? Make sure that you can have some cash flow if you move away from that house. And of course, try to get a home that is undervalued so you have some profit room when you sell. But guys, the biggest thing is, if you're in a position where you really need to buy a house right now, don't be scared. Just understand that you need to exercise extreme caution. There's really no reason to be scared of a crash if you're going to live in the home for a long time. Historically, prices have always rebounded. And of course, guys, if you're going to work with a loan originator, you need to find one that has been in the industry for a really long time and knows what's going on and can get you the best possible options for your loan. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. Till next time, be happy, healthy, wise, and wealthy.